Stay tuned for Jimmy Cantwell Saves Christmas.
Cape Spear, Newfoundland is the most easterly point of land in North America. The Cantwell family has kept the Cape Spear Lighthouse for decades. Just below the light tower are 2 floors of living space where the Cantwells live year-round. It's Christmas Eve in the year 1919. 10-year-old Jimmy Cantwell and his brothers and sisters are fast asleep in their wooden beds on the upper floor. Despite a raging snowstorm outside, Santa Claus is scheduled to make his first landfall on North America at 10 o'clock Newfoundland time. He will distribute gifts to the Cantwell children. But this Christmas Eve is a little unusual for Santa.
Oh, slow down! Gee-haw! Gee-haw! Oh dear!
Santa is pulling on the reins of his heavy gift-laden sleigh. Thick snow flies in his face. The reindeer are pulling in a zigzag fashion as they fly through the howling wind and snow.
Oh me! Oh my dear slow!
The green flashing light on the sleigh dashboard turns to a flashing red.
Now, where is that lighthouse? Oh!
Santa's sleigh and reindeer come crashing right onto the lighthouse tower and slide off the roof onto the soft snow below. Jimmy Cantwell awakes to the sound of the crash.
What was that?
He jumps out of bed, puts on his overalls and wool sweater, and heads downstairs.
Maybe it's Santa.
Jimmy walks through the kitchen, then bumps into his Uncle Reg, who's making tea.
Uncle Reg,
Uncle Reg works as the nighttime lightkeeper.
did you hear that crash?
Yes, Jimmy, I did. Most likely a sheet of ice sliding off the roof.
I thought maybe it was Santa.
Jimmy looks out the kitchen window.
Look!
For the love of St. Nick, that's a herd of deer out there.
Meanwhile, up at the North Pole, there's concern in the communications room where elves Ringboo and Tar Pit track Santa's movements on Christmas Eve.
Ringboo, I think we have a problem.
Do you have a fix on Santa's location?
No, he should have landed at Cape Spear by now. He is 3 minutes and 20 seconds behind schedule.
Did you scan the whereabouts machine?
Oh, will do, Ringboo.
Tar Pit starts scanning for Santa on the whereabouts machine.
There, hear that? He's fine.
No. He should be past Cape Spear by now, and that beat should have moved.
You're right, Tarpit. The whereabouts machine is not showing movement.
He should be well onto St. John's by now.
That's a code 423. Better contact the missus.
Will do, Ringboo.
When Jimmy and Uncle Reg step outside, they discovered stunned reindeer standing around. Toys and gifts are strewn about, and Santa's sleigh is upside down. Santa is nowhere to be found.
Oh no! What a mess!
This isn't a good way to start Christmas, Jimmy.
Where's Santa?
Look under the sleigh.
When Jimmy and Uncle Reg see the overturned sleigh, they see Santa's boots sticking out. They then attempt to lift up the sleigh.
Oh no! Santa, are you there?
Suddenly, Santa pops out his head from underneath the sleigh.
Peekaboo!
Santa!
Santa hides and pops his head out again.
Peekaboo, I see you!
Glad to see you too, Santa.
Jimmy, should you not be in bed?
Should you not be delivering toys?
Oh, so right you are.
Santa gets out from under the sleigh. Jimmy and Reg help him up. Then all 3 of them turn the sleigh upright.
Santa, are you okay?
In a bit of a tizzy. My radio's in smithereens, my locator beam is smashed, and my whereabouts machine is toast. And the sleigh is in shambles.
What happened?
I was aiming for the chimney and I hit the light. I should have known about the light tower. I've been coming here since 1836.
That sleigh, Santa, you're gonna need some major work before you can get aloft again.
Oh dear, oh dear. What are all the children going to think if I don't get toys to them this Christmas Eve?
At the North Pole Communications Center, Mrs. Claus joins Ringboo and Tar Pit.
Mrs., we got a major problem. We can't find Santa. We are running out of time.
Oh! Santa has not confirmed his first landing. He never does that.
He always confirms his first landing.
Oh, did you try signaling the whereabouts machine?
Yes, and nothing.
We even tried the locator beacon.
No signal.
Oh,
What do we do now? There are only a few hours of Christmas Eve, and we only have 7 time zones in North America.
he'll let us know if he's in trouble.
Back at Cape Spear, Reg surveys the broken sleigh.
Uncle Reg, do you think you can fix Santa's sleigh?
No sweat. If we can get that sleigh to St. John's, I can get it fixed at a buddy's metal shop. We will need some time.
If only we could stop time. Can you stop time, Santa?
Good idea, Jimmy. But sadly, I can't stop time.
That's too bad.
But we can stop time at the North Pole.
Really? Then let's do it.
Problem is that my sleigh communications equipment is broken. If we only had a wireless telegraph. Reg, do you have a wireless here at the lighthouse?
No, sorry, Santa, but His Majesty's wireless station on Old Placentia Road is only miles away. The road's not that great, but we can load the sleigh on my truck and give it a try.
That sounds splendid, Reg.
Let's get this baby on the back of me truck and head to town.
Baby? Where's the baby? I love babies.
Oh, just an expression. I meant sleigh.
Jimmy and Santa put the sleigh on the back of Reg's truck and begin the journey through the barrens and trees towards St. John's through the raging snowstorm. Meanwhile, far north at the North Pole Observatory, Ringboo, Tar Pit, and Mrs. Claus look through the Santa scope.
I can't see anything. Oh, wait. Oh, I see snow. Lots of snow. Oh, there he is.
Let me see. What is Santa doing riding a truck with a boy and a man? And the sleigh on the back?
Something isn't right.
Santa has a plan. I know it.
I don't know, Santa. Looks like some hard slogging here.
We must make it, or there will be no Christmas for millions of kids.
The wheels of the truck slip as it plows through the snow drifts.
I think we're stuck.
I know what to do here.
What, Santa?
Santa releases a brass whistle from his belt buckle.
This is my dwistle.
What is a D whistle?
A deer whistle. Wait and see.
Santa blows his dwistle as the sound resonates through the barrens. Nothing happens. Reg's truck gets further buried in snow. Santa blows the dwistle again.
There, that should do it.
Do what?
Then, out of the blizzard, arrives 8 tiny reindeer skipping across the drifts out of the darkness. Back at the North Pole Santa Scope Room, Mrs. Claus, Ringboo, and Tar Pit get a fix on Santa and the truck.
Look, missus. I think they have a plan.
Oh, I knew it.
Wow, that truck sure can fly with the reindeer.
Through the Santa Scope, Ringboo, Mrs. Claus, and Tar Pit watch the truck as Santa, Jimmy, and Reg aboard as it flies over the treetops with the reindeer in the lead.
Christmas Eve!
Yo-ho!
Then, out of the blizzard, Santa, Jimmy, and Reg land at a group of buildings surrounded by tall metal towers. They arrive at His Majesty's wireless station. They disembark, shake the snow off themselves, and enter a wooden building.
This is it! His Majesty's wireless station.
Excellent. Now we can make contact.
How will we do that?
A young man in uniform greets them.
Well, hello, Santa. Welcome to His Majesty's wireless station.
Hello, Clarence. I remember not long ago when you were a little boy.
What can I do for you, Santa?
I need to send an urgent telegraph to the North Pole. This is Reg and Jimmy, my friends. They rescued me. A long story.
Then let's not waste time. This way to the wireless room.
So Santa, Jimmy, Reg, and Clarence enter the wireless room. There is an instrument known as a telegraph key on a table connected to wires and transmitting equipment. They gather around the key.
What is your message, Santa?
North Pole, please stop time now until further notice. Must repair broken sleigh. Christmas will be saved. Santa.
Clarence proceeds to write Santa's message on a piece of paper.
Wow! How does that thing send a message?
This is a telegraph key. It sends two types of signals, long and short taps that all spell out the letters of the alphabet.
Oh! Samuel Morse and his code. My teacher taught us that.
Well, here goes.
Clarence begins to tap out the message on the telegraph key.
What's the message, Tar Pit? What?
Let's see. Oh, stop time now until further notice. Must repair broken sleigh. Christmas will be saved. Santa.
Yay! Christmas will be saved!
That means we must stop time immediately. Right. Ring Boo, how do we stop time?
Easy. Just engage the Earth Rewind the ovulator.
Ringboo, Tar Pit, and the other elves climb down to the basement of the North Pole station. They lock the hands of the great clock under the pole, and all time stops on Earth. Then at that moment, the streets of St. John's are frozen in time. People are still in the streets. Choirs freeze in churches, horses pulling wagons stay still, chickens in coops stay still. Moose are stilled in the forest. Lighthouses stop flashing, and birds are stilled in the air. The snowstorm ceases. Everyone at His Majesty's wireless station freezes, except for Santa. Reg, Jimmy, and Clarence are still. Santa touches Jimmy and Reg. They start to move.
What happened?
You two got included in the time freeze. I need you both. Okay, we got work to do and no time to waste.
Clarence is frozen still at the telegraph key.
Thank you, Clarence. I know you can't hear me now, but I will ask His Majesty of His Majesty's wireless station to award you a majestic medal for your majestic work.
Through the Santascope, Mrs. Claus watches Santa, Reg, Jimmy, and the reindeer pull the truck with the sleigh on the back as they head towards downtown St. John's. They stop at Jim Parsons' Metalworks and Welding Shop.
Oh, I see them. They arrived at a metal shop.
Reg starts banging parts together. Jimmy falls asleep on a bench while Reg straightens the broken skis. He welds new struts underneath while Santa reconnects wires to the whereabouts transmitter. Finally, the red light suddenly turns green.
Oh, I'm so happy.
Okay, Santa, that should do the job.
That is magnificent, Reg. Just like new.
Thanks, Santa.
Jimmy wakes up from the bench with a big yawn.
We better get back to Cape Spear, Santa, so I can get to bed.
I will take you home now, Jimmy. Then I can begin Christmas Eve. But first, we have to restart time.
Do we have to go back to the wireless station?
I can do that right here from my sleigh using my whereabouts machine.
Santa starts up the whereabouts machine. He sends a location message and then signals thumbs up to Ringboo, Tar Pit, and Mrs. Claus as they watch through the Santascope.
Okay, guys, we can restart time now. Restart that thingamajigger.
Tar Pit, engage the Beobulator.
Will do, Ringboo.
Tar Pit climbs down the tunnels and pushes the giant hands of the Earth Rewind Beobulator. The hands are stiff. He gives them a kick, and the great clock moves forward. Suddenly, the streets of St. John's become active again. The choirs resume singing, the lighthouse resumes flashing, the moose crashes through the forest moving. Church bells ring, the chickens cluck, the snow falls, and all is good. Meanwhile, Santa and his reindeer, with Reg's truck in tow, land at Cape Spear.
Thanks for the ride, Santa.
Thanks, Reg, for all you did to help save Christmas. I hereby designate you an honorary elf.
Jimmy and Reg help Santa collect the tossed-about toys and load them into the sleigh. Jimmy is exhausted.
I gotta get back to bed.
Yes, you better, Jimmy. Get to sleep.
Be careful, Santa, when you land here in the future.
I promise, Jimmy, I will.
Merry Christmas, Santa.
And a merry one it will be, because you, Jimmy Cantwell, saved Christmas.
Santa, in his repaired sleigh, pulled by 8 tiny reindeer, flies over the Cape Spear lighthouse towards the lights of St. John's. They fly right over His Majesty's wireless station.
Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night. Dash away, we dash away all.
Down below, in the wireless station, Clarence seems bewildered. He stares at the message he wrote out for Santa.
What's this? Did I fall asleep on the job? Did I really send this message off for Santa? Must have been a dream. Well, time to wish the world a Merry Christmas.
Clarence taps out a new message on the telegraph key. Merry Christmas and peace on Earth.
Merry Christmas and peace on Earth.
Oh,
And that was Jimmy Cantwell Saves Christmas, produced by Cape Spear Productions for CICQ Radio, written by Peter Elliott, directed by Peter and Melissa Elliott, narrated by Carla Watson, and starring Jack Drodge as Jimmy Cantwell, Hunter Richardson as Ringboo the Elf, Chris Richardson as Reg and Mrs. Claus, Jacob Hules Elliott as Clarence, Peter Elliott as Tar Pit the Elf, and Santa Claus as himself.